Good morning once again, parents. I am finding that these videos are extremely helpful for everybody in the classroom to quickly get a lot of the questions that you've had. I have a whole another set of lists. There's probably more questions in this video to answer for you that are pretty specific to this year. So if you've had a student come through my classroom or in Schuler Kindergarten, these might be new questions for you and answers. So here we go. Let's talk about, the note that came home last Friday. We've been learning how to be kind in kindergarten and use our words. And with that comes a lot of emotions. And this might be regurgitation of everything that I said in kindergarten if you've had another student, but kindergarten just brings about emotions you may have never seen in your child before. And I can give you some examples of this. So obviously we've got kiddos sometimes falling asleep on the bus on the way home. Our days are jam-packed. And yes, it's busy, but it's also busy with new experiences and new words that are coming out of other people's mouths. For instance, your child may learn how to ask somebody to play. Will you play with me today? They might not know their name, but they're learning how to make a friend. And maybe that other child is playing with someone else. And so the other child just says, no. And that could be really hurtful to the one who just asked because they just learned how to use those words. And so they don't know how to process that. And the other student didn't mean anything harmful by saying no. What they really probably just needed to say is, I'm playing with this friend, but I'll play with you later. So those can bring about some big emotions. And I just wanted you all to be prepared for those if they haven't happened yet. We're all learning. I'm quick to see interactions with the kiddos. Another thing that you may know about me too is that, yes, I can zip zippers and I can tie shoes and I can help a student learn how to cut with their fingers, in the big hole and the thumb in the little, and we're always singing and dancing, or open a snack. I can open those really quickly, but I always ask your students to ask at least 3 friends that are sitting beside them. It opens up conversation, and it also sees if they are problem solvers instead of just relying on an adult. So I can easily do those things. Students know that they can come to me after they've asked a couple friends for help. So 9 times out of 10, someone sitting right next to them can open their snack package for them. So yeah, okay. Let's see. The note that came home on Friday goes along with a lesson that I have in the classroom of never hurting anybody on the inside or the outside. It said it right on there, but we learned that our words can leave scars, and they hurt too. You can't always see them, but they're on the inside. And so from here on out, now that we've learned that there are ways to play at home and there are ways to play at school, and they are probably different. They could be different. I don't know, and we talk about how all families are different, and that's okay, but we have the same expectations here at Schuler and in our classroom. So what I teach them is that, if we break the rule, we accidentally hit somebody at recess because we didn't like their words or they were in our way and the line was too long and I wanted to cut the line. I just have a conversation with them and I say, hey, remember that day that we created that chart and we put the thumbs up and we put the thumbs down? We've got a whole visual. We've had probably 4 lessons about recess expectations. We've learned how to walk in the hall, our voices and what levels we can use them. We turn the dial down to 0 when it's time to listen, that sort of thing. And then the next time that they break it, so this would be the second time that they might break a pretty substantial rule. Not the no talking one is, you guys know me, I'm all for conversation. And I'm not a real stickler on the body basics either. Like I teach them that that's the way to kiss your brain. But I also don't expect them to sit there and stare at me the whole time. So it depends on which one they're breaking, physical altercations with fists or hitting or kicking someone, I call that the number 2 time and say, hey, we've had this conversation before and your expectations. I might have them sit either during our free play time, which we don't get a whole lot of, but the only free play time is usually about 20 minutes long, if that. So I'll have them sit and we'll draw like a front side of what we did and then the back side of how we're gonna do it differently next time. You know, like, oh, they were in the line and they cut me or something, so I punched him. So we'll talk about the what to do next time. We're gonna use our words and we're gonna get a teacher. There's teachers all over the place, you know. Okay, and then the third time will definitely be a phone call with you guys or an email. Most of the time I like to talk with you on the phone. So expect that. I haven't had to, you know, call for anything like that. Mostly I've been trying to get through the whole list of calling you guys just to see if you had any specific questions for yourself that may or may not have been answered, but haven't had to do that, and I usually don't, but I am quick to. If I need to, I'll definitely call you. So no news is good news with me. All right. Okay. The questions, I had two parents ask about the iPads. Okay. So we learned how to use an iPad, and the first thing we did was get on Seesaw, and we did a letter C activity. C is for ka. And we went on a search and find, and we were finding all kinds of C's, and then we did an activity on Seesaw for you. If you don't see it there, it just means that your student was having a little trouble with Seesaw, and it's okay, because iPad, in my notes I wrote introduce Seesaw, and then we had 2 extra adults in the classroom, and then I said say a little prayer because it was iPads with that many kindergartners is kind of scary. Yesterday we learned how to use headphones. So we watched a few books on Seesaw, and they had a blast with that. I heard it was one of their favorite times of the day. So if you haven't brought headphones but were meaning to, then go ahead and send those in. We problem solved a couple of them that weren't working. We tried some other ones, but yeah, just ask your student throughout the year, how are your headphones holding up? The ones from the school, they tend to break a little bit. If they take really good care of them like they should and keep them in the baggie that I gave them and in their locker and keep their locker nice and organized, should be perfect this year. So most of you I have on Seesaw. If you haven't received an email from me, just wait. I'm getting there. It's a lot of work to get you guys on there. I gotta do a whole lot of stuff on the teacher side so that I can set up parents and then, but your email is coming. So if you haven't seen Seesaw yet, don't worry, it's coming. Seesaw sign up, birthday snack. We've had a lot of lost snacks in backpacks. And so I probably said this before, but I do not have time to go open up your child's backpacks, all 22 of them, and dig around for snack. And, you know, same goes for the yellow folder. If you have a note that needs to come to me, or you have homework in kindergarten that needs to come back to school, make sure it's in that yellow folder and tell your student that it's in the yellow folder. Also, maybe review with your student which pocket you're putting that snack in. We found snack hidden in towels, rest towels or blankets. We found them inside the yellow folder after the day was done. No biggie. Nurse Ellie has extra snacks for us if we can't find them. Also, some kids were confused which one's my snack and which one's my cold lunch. So we were getting the entire lunches out during snacks. So just review that with your student where you're putting the snack so they can easily go and get that out. All right, let's see, TPT. It says, don't cry right here. Don't cry when I say this. Okay, so you guys, I had a chance to look at, this is my first time doing a Teachers Pay Teachers wish list. You guys are amazing. Oh, I can't even tell you. Like, we have toys galore. We have manipulatives for math so they can count and pattern and do all of those things and use the abacuses, and just, I have so much stuff. But what I really needed were some updated lessons, and I'm not crying. You're crying. You guys, I'm getting goosebumps. Thank you so much. And with that, while I already have a few tears in my eyes, I just want to tell you we had one quick lesson. So you know you had a baggie that came, or a brown paper bag that came home. There's some more homework for you guys to do. The date should be pretty far out. Most of you have like 2, maybe even 3 weeks. We're going to try and take a few kiddos a day so that we can start becoming that classroom family that we talked about. So I shared mine with the students, and it's been about I'm going into my 3rd year of teaching without my husband, And the student, I've never had to have this conversation with the other two classrooms, so I'm going to have it with you guys because we had a conversation in the classroom. The students immediately noticed in my family picture was my husband, and just want to let you guys know he's in heaven now. But I don't talk religion in the classroom. I don't talk politics, religion, anything like that. If they have questions about things like that, I always just say, well, ask your mommy and daddy about that. So my husband passed away from cancer when COVID hit, and medical things were just shut down, and we didn't get the care we needed, and it was a rough ride. But again, I don't talk about those things in the classroom. I save those kinds of emotions for home, and most of the time your students will go, at least the last 2 years, barely anybody knew. So, but I just wanted to know that for you guys, this would be my first year that some students were actually asking, like, who, where's your husband? Can he come in? Can he do things like that? So, so you can have that conversation with them and just let them know where my husband is, and that I love them very much. And we are becoming a classroom family. We are learning so much. It's mind-boggling. We try and do a news report at the end of the day, to just list kind of the things that we learned. Like yesterday, we learned how to write the date on our papers. Woo, big mind-boggling stuff. The other day we were learning how to write our name the kindergarten way. So some things I'm cutting out. Got to school early here, but using that uppercase at the beginning, and then all the rest are lowercase. So that's been a challenge for some of our students who in preschool, they might have learned how to use all uppercase. I always get the student that's like, hey, great job on writing your name with all uppercase. Can you try it the kindergarten way? And they're so polite. They always say, no thanks, I like the uppercase, but we have to start learning those lowercase. So practice with your student. Let's see, what are some other things that we've been learning? How to find the numbers on the number chart. So counting forward, but also counting backwards is a huge, mind-boggling kind of thing for our kiddos. It's easy between 10 and 0, but some of the FAST, formative assessments that are state required, are coming up in like less than a week, you guys. Yes, we assess kindergartners right out the gate. So we're going to be talking about what is a substitute teacher, because I'll be testing in the hallways with your kiddos not next week, but the week after that. And they will have a sub teacher in the classroom and their expectations with that. So yeah, so first 20 days we've been doing some routines in math. We charted, we went on a little number hunt on what is a letter. Letters make words, and words make, see if they can answer, sentences. Yeah, and a sentence is word, 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 punctuation. They had super fun with that the other day. Tons of songs. See if they can sing like Hickety Pickety. See if they can sing the months of the year song. That's super fun. January, February. I have a little video I'll put on Seesaw when I have a chance to like sit down and look through all the pictures that I've taken. Yeah, so a few fun things. Oh, and the days of the cycle. Hopefully they are telling you which day of the cycle is. They know tomorrow is day 1, and so they know that tomorrow is music. Sometimes the kiddos get so good at that, I can just ask one of them in the classroom, today is day, and they'll look at the clip and see, or they'll look at our calendar. So yeah, lots of fun things happening. Write your name at home. Ask what kind things they've been doing. We made some fun pictures that are hanging out in the hallway. This is our first self-portrait, like what color hair, what color eyes. Some of us colored our shape of our eyes, or our color of our eyes, and we put the hair on, and then we drew what kind things we were doing out on the playground. Focus on the positives in school. We've also been talking about we are a classroom family, and what to do when somebody walks into our room, because we have a lot of adults that just come in and out, in and out, in and out. They're always checking on us. I don't know why in kindergarten they're always checking on us. Sometimes we're really loud and Mr. Fye is peeking in, but if you do ever get to our classroom, if you're a volunteer, we have 7 volunteers. And Friday on that work day is my plan to get a program for us, get some routines for our 7 volunteers that have signed up. If you haven't signed up to be a volunteer, go ahead and shoot me an email and I'll get you into that rotation. But if you haven't heard from me on what we're going to do for volunteering by Friday afternoon, just send me an email and say, hey, I'd like to get in on that too. You do have to fill out the volunteer form through the Waukee schools, and we have to have a conversation about privacy and confidentiality. So you'll be seeing the kiddos in person if you volunteer, and confidentiality is it has to happen. I have that with you guys. So if you ever have a conversation with me that you feel uncomfortable about, but you really want me to know because it will help me learn about your student, just know that I do not share that with colleagues. I don't share that with anybody unless you ask me to share that with the principal or the district or admin or whoever you need. The guidance counselors can always help with those things too, but I will not share that unless you ask me to. So, all right, I think that was all my notes. iPads instead of free play, family, birthday. I think I got it all. You guys, if you still have questions after this, of course, just call me, just email me. I'm always here. Thank you so much. We'll see you soon.